dictatorship that is trying to turn people into militant racists and kill minorities. That's what they think fascism is. And so when you're doing that, and there's a lot that you can say about the racial connotations of Donald Trump's campaign and policy. There's a lot that you can say there, but like the thing is that like people just don't know what it is that they're talking about, and so like basically fascism becomes just like a moral, almost like it's like they're using the moral weight. A lot of people that call Donald Trump a fascist don't even know, but they're using the moral weight of it to condemn Trump, basically. And so they'll look at a lot of things which makes intuitive sense. They don't necessarily know how to line everything up and make the argument, but like, so you'll have the one side, you'll have people that are like, okay, intuitively, it just seems like it makes sense. There's something about this like cult-like mentality, the types of things that are being justified, the America first. There's something about this which feels fascist, and that's fine. And there's ways that you can argue this pretty efficiently, but a lot of people are leaning into the word specifically because it has the moral connotation, more so than it's an apt descriptor for what is happening. It is an apt descriptor for what is happening, but yeah, they don't know. And then you have the other side of people that think because it's just carrying this moral weight, that's all there is to it, is that people are just saying or are just trying to poison the well or whatever without. And the thing is, it's like the same thing of like if I were to talk about the way that people view the family, you know, you have responsibility to your family, you have shared blood with your family, you have to make sure you continue your family lineage, you have to make sure that you have this idea of what it means to carry your last name, like things like this. If I was to be critical of things like this, you're gonna have a lot of people who are like, well, that's how I view my family. And it's not going to mean much of anything to them. So you get into a lot of problems like that, where it's like most people take it as a given that it's like, oh well, we are all capital A Americans, part of the American project with the American identity, these American values, and these and that everything that we do is first and foremost like American, and what that means and how we align with that project, etc. A lot of people are doing that as a given. Even people that are doing that as a given that are also criticizing Trump for being a fascist. And it's like, well, those things are the things that are mobilizing these MAGA Trump supporters into alignment with all of the more extreme authoritarian things that Trump wants to do in the name of these things, without understanding the irony of this, right? But the thing that we're talking about is that what is mobilizing the MAGA movement, and Trump, and not just the movement itself, as in like just like the people that are voting for him, but also like the collection of people that are around Trump, the conservative nationalists, the Christian nationalists, the Heritage Foundation, Schedule F, things like this. And so a lot of people have like, I guess like half of the equation or something. Yeah.
The law in a way that actually harmed other people. That's where you're drawing the distinction.
I mean, even if it doesn't have some sort of direct harm on somebody, I don't know that I would actually like say that it doesn't like I guess in general, yes, like because even challenging somebody's
speed, right?
No, again, you're not like really like challenging other people's freedoms, and you're not like doing that in authoritative position. You're not in a like a role as a leader when you're doing this and forcing this upon others.
Look, so you do agree with the line. As long as he's not harming other people, then that's where the line is. As soon as he circumvents the law to harm other people, or just wants to circumvent.
Yeah, why does it have to be it's always the law? Why is the moral framework just around whether something's legal or not? This is like toddler level politics. No one would ever. What are we doing?
I don't know that it would have to have some sort. Yes, exactly. That's what I was going to say. That's what I was saying. Is that I don't think that you would have to have some sort of direct harm on somebody else to where it could be like, yes, more of a systemic harm. But yeah.
Okay.
So I'm missing a layup. I don't know why you would accept a framing around the legal justification. Like, is fascism bad if it was completely legal? What kind of question is this? Why would you validate that sort of argument at all?
Did you have any questions or anything? Such as taking a nap.
I'm taking a nap. Now, I mean, I think you have to separate. Like, obviously, a person could be trying to enact authoritarian or fascistic policies, and whether or not they are able to manifest them or not has no bearing on defining them as an authoritarian or a fascist. Right? That's the definition of the government structure, not the individual.
Sorry?
Authoritarian or a fascist. Right? That's the definition of the government structure, not the individual.
No.
So, if Trump is attempting to do something that you would classify as authoritarian, if he fails to do it, that doesn't mean that he's not authoritarian.
It's fine.
Would you agree with that, Adam?
Yeah, he's defining him as an authoritarian.
Well,
there are a lot of people who are authoritarians that are obviously being constrained by the political and economic system around them.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
So, I mean, I would. You can look at various works. One that we talk about all the time is the book The Authoritarian Dynamic, where she postulates that a third of people are actually authoritarians, right? And usually they're pretty mellow until things start going off the wheel. The wheels start coming off of society, and then all of a sudden they become very authoritarian. So,
So is the only contention now, or is the main contention now, if Donald Trump is authoritarian? Is that the main contention that is taking place in this section of the conversation?
Adam,
well, is that the main contention? Is Trump authoritarian?
If you want to, I don't know that I have enough information to really be confident that Donald Trump is an authoritarian.
Well, I mean, that's so when I'm giving these examples, right? You guys asked for examples a couple of times, and I gave a couple. So, like, a dictatorialism would be like an authoritarian thing. When I say that we have dozens of examples of him trying to use the DOJ and use the government to go after people for personal reasons and for political reasons. Like, that is just authoritarian. Yes, we can all agree on that. That is just an authoritarian thing to do, regardless of whether or not you get away with it. We would still say that is an authoritarian action. Yes.
Obviously, it depends upon what action he's pursuing. Like, if he is pursuing legitimate corruption, then that's...
So when Omarosa makes fun of him for, I think it was I forget, having little fingers or something, and he wanted to use the DOJ to go after her to shut her up.
I'm not familiar with this example, but obviously that would be...
Well, before we get into example, if Donald Trump is just trying